Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Global Diamond Broker Hard Truth Podcast, episode 96.
The Hard Truth
Diamond Podcast.
Diamond Podcast.
Don't yell at me.
What? Yeah, there's a little bit of PTSD around here today from Judy hitting all the time, emotionally, mentally, and physically.
So how are you today, Colin?
I'm really well today. The weather's beautiful here.
Yeah, you're a lot better today than you were yesterday.
Was I bad yesterday? Was there a problem? So when there's a problem, I'm the problem. Is that right?
Duh.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
You were mean yesterday.
What do you mean I'm mean?
Well, you're mean every day, but you were especially mean yesterday.
What was I mean about?
Everything. You were bitching about everything yesterday.
I'm really not much of a bitcher.
Kyle?
Okay,
I'd like
let's
a fact,
not get...
I'd like a fact
what
checker
is
here.
it with you and Kyle?
I'd like
Kyle's
a fact
our
checker
new
here.
employee.
Yeah.
He's
Him and I are
a
like...
lovely young man, and Judy is tormenting him like she does me.
Yeah.
Is it all men, Judy?
Honestly, everyone except my boyfriend.
your poor boyfriend. Judy has a boyfriend. Remember when we started the podcast, these close to 100 episodes ago, when you didn't have a boyfriend?
And you called me, what did you call me again?
You were the biggest loser in love I'd ever seen in my whole... Like, she was so far from an engagement ring.
What did you call me again?
What?
You used to call me a Chinese leftover.
Oh, leftover. Yeah, you were. Well, you are, or you were, up until very recently. Now, I guess we shouldn't start to talk about how things are going at home, or should we? Is that...
I'm okay.
You're okay?
I'm okay.
So, I, on the other hand, do not have a girlfriend.
Says you or says her?
There is no her. I don't have a girlfriend.
Oh, sorry, hers.
Okay.
She's.
Yeah, that's better. Hey, so anyway, let's get off stupid again today.
Okay.
Why do we always start off stupid? Do you know? Yeah, okay.
Anyways,
so
lots going on in the diamond industry.
We're
today.
off to Vegas soon. If you've been watching our post, we reposted it. It was this time last year we started talking about going to Vegas. And this, you guys, is one of the biggest gem shows in the world. And this morning, it could be the biggest gem show in the world. There's the Hong Kong show, which I'm hoping we may go to in the fall. I'm going. And will you be allowed to go, given your new relationship status?
Why not? I am my own person, okay? I am my own person.
Yes, princess, you certainly are. So anyway, we're going to Vegas to the gem show, and we just got invited this morning to a breakfast. And the questions that will be answered in the breakfast, I think, are so telltale. And if there's one industry you really need to read between the lines in to understand WTF is going on, it's the diamond business, because all the numbers right now are really showing the really unbelievable growth, especially if you know what you're talking about, like I do, and you've had the experience to learn to read between the lines and all the bullshit the industry spews. And I'm sorry, I love my industry, but let's get the facts out there. Let's get the truth out so people really know what's going on.
So tell me more about this breakfast.
So this breakfast has a bunch of questions that are going to be answered. And this
by the one and only
Martin Rappaport, who I highly respect, but this guy would be the equivalent of a Donald Trump or a Joe Biden, and the impartial, the misinformation, the to protect their party, and I guess you'd call his party
the Mine Diamond
industry.
Industry.
Mine Diamond Industry, or as he calls it, the natural diamond industry, because even though the very
FTC.
powerful, the Federal Trade Commission of the United States of America said there's no difference between mine and lab, and the word synthetic was not appropriate anymore, which was a big blow, really, to the mined diamond industry.
But a huge win for the lab-grown diamond industry.
A huge win for the lab-grown diamond industry. It's so cute when you chime in there. Maybe you should talk more. Right? I always encourage her to. She knows way more. It always shocks me how much she actually knows. But you are a bit of a mini-me, so.
I know. It's scary.
Right?
It's so scary.
But so anyway, the breakfast, there's questions that came with the breakfast. And I think we'll talk about those today. And there's one other thing. We got a comment this morning about the ludicrousness. Is that a word? Ludicrousness? We wish you a merry ludicrousness, miss.
Okay.
So literally, the ludicrousness of the what's going on? Of the concept that a diamond engagement ring for a young couple could possibly be a
financial investment.
A good financial investment for their future.
God.
Someone commented this morning about the ludicrousness. I may have made up a word today. Another one.
What about ludicrousity?
The ludicrousity of thinking that you're in time. Like, who goes into a relationship that's supposed to last forever, an engagement to get married to, if you choose to have kids or not.
And think about selling your engagement ring
think
after.
About that it's some kind of, and see, most people are not good investors. And you get these young couples with stars in their eyes and love in their hearts, and they go in and they eat this stuff up when it's simply not true. Mm-hmm. It's a way the industry found. Here's what happens. Every year the price, up until very recently, the price of mined diamonds went up. And so they would say, oh, the prices go up every year and blah, blah, blah. They do. But you have no market to sell it to. Mm-hmm. Pawnbrokers will give you 10 cents on the dollar. And, show me the person. Show me the couple that got their engagement ring and resold it for a profit. I'm waiting. One person to prove it. People say they do. Prove it. Show me the numbers. It doesn't happen. It's a horrible financial investment. Take the money, put it into something, get a lab grown. And I'm sorry, I was just on a website, but get a lab grown and take all that money, invest it in your family's future, and you're way better off.
There you go. Yeah.
Right? So this morning, where did I start on that one from?
I don't know. You were all over the place.
Couples investing. Oh, the questions, the breakfast questions. So here they are, and I thought I would share them. And number one, now read between the lines. Will synthetics, this is lab-grown diamonds, this is what Martin calls them. And look, I respect Martin Rappaport, but it's getting to be a little bit much for me. Will synthetics continue to take market share from natural? So here's an admission of just how big it really is. And every jeweler, they're all moving to lab-grown diamonds now. It's an ethical, environmentally friendly. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all that and bore you with that again. But that's question number one. And so you look around the diamond industry and there's stockpiles of mined diamonds now. There's too many in the marketplace. It's an overabundance. If it wasn't a tightly controlled market, it'd be totally different. Now they slapped sanctions on 1/3 of the world's diamonds, the Russian diamonds, which I agree with. But even with those sanctions cutting off over 1/3, up to 40% of the world's rough diamond production, which, by the way, is still sneaking out through India.
Right, because 9 out of 10 diamonds go through India. They get recut, transformed, and then no longer are they from Russia.
Exactly. Okay, so they're still making it into the market. It's a joke. It's like I was on the Tiffany website the other day when they were talking about how their diamonds are responsible. The fact is, they don't know. Mm-hmm. The fact is, they have no clue where their diamonds come from. And, I think this is still going on, Tiffany, because their diamonds really aren't luxury. Luxury is about beauty, and most of theirs they sell really aren't beautiful.
Well, you can order a necklace and get a D color all the way up to a J color.
Right? It's J is joke, if you remember our color scale, but D is the most desirable color in the world. How many Ds do you think they're actually sending out? Or do you think there's more J's and I's in decent and H horrible?
Okay, let's move along. What other
Okay.
questions?
So that was question number one.
So they're admitting.
So there's the admission. Will it continue? Of course it'll continue. How will U.S. and G7 sanctions on Russia impact U.S. diamond prices and supply? Well, it won't, because there's way too many mined diamonds in the marketplace already. You can go and read articles by Forbes and by Bloomberg, and they talk about the fact there's stockpiles of these. Forever, there's stockpiles. So how's it going to impact it? It's not. It's just more smoke is all. Okay? So let's keep moving along. Will there be profitable demand for socially responsible diamonds? Now, for those of you who don't know what a socially responsible diamond is, it's one that says please and thank you. I think what they're talking about, now imagine, they're talking about socially responsible diamonds, which are lab-grown diamonds, by the way, but that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about diamonds and their ethics, and diamonds and where they come from, and blood diamonds. Those are what they're talking about. So now they're talking about socially responsible diamonds. Will there be a market? There wasn't before.
Yeah, exactly.
Like finally the industry is going like, we got to do something fast,
Yeah.
because they're losing the war. They're losing the war. Now it's about socially responsible diamonds. What about 5 years ago? What about 10 years ago? Look, it's an industry that's in peril. It doesn't know what to do. It can't provide. The big thing is you can tell what continent your diamond comes from, what mine. No, you can't. It's another form of misinformation that the industry's putting out there. They just don't know. There's so much corruption in the industry. There's so much misrepresentation. There's so many myths, like the myth that it's a good financial investment. They raise the prices every year. Well, they did. Can't anymore. But I'm sure that's what the Russian G7 sanctions are about. But it ain't going to change a thing. The mine diamond industry is in real trouble, and it ain't coming out of it. Another thing that was posted this morning, and as you know, I read a lot, is the fact that the fine clarity diamonds,
and fine color too, no?
fine color, yeah,
So
are
we're
the
talking
ones
like
that are,
DIF,
they're not
EVS.
selling. The
I
site
wonder
holders,
why.
The
I
site
wonder
holders
why.
for De Beers, the guys who spend $100 million on a box, are disappointed because they're not making money anymore. Anyway, let's keep going here. How important is here's the best one for me. Now, Martin Rappaport came out and in one of his speeches said that what did he say about millennials?
He hates millennials.
He hates, and who else does he hate?
Gen Zers.
How do you think he feels about me these days?
Oh, you're fine. You're not in that age category.
Yeah, and I think the world of Martin Rappaport. He was around there. This is a guy that developed pricing structure and some transparency for the industry and was hated, kind of like I am by some people in the industry.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're pro-choice. You want to mine diamond, we broker them at prices that defy comparison globally. Your choice. Just make sure you have all the facts. And so here's the last question that they're going to deal with that morning is, how important is social media when it comes to selling Gen Z? Like, think about that. It's frightening. And there is one more question, and this, again, goes to what's going on in the industry. And you hear this all the time. Everybody bitches about the fact that China is producing so much lab-created diamonds. And India is, the two biggest populations in the world. And here's the last question they're going to deal with in the breakfast. By the way, we're going to be there on the ground reporting to you from Las Vegas.
Sorry.
Are you really sorry, though? Like,
I just wanted to make sure we're. Anyways.
you make me uncomfortable sometimes. Is the last question is, will China come back? Now, did you know China was gone? Did you know this is another marketplace that's been decimated by laboratory created diamonds? Because I think people are onto it now. Like this whole thing about financial investment for an engagement ring, give me a break. It's a ridiculous notion. Like these young in love couples who really know nothing, they haven't started investing. I say to them now, look, I spoke to a young man yesterday who was a really nice guy from the U.S., where the majority of our clients are. I said, really, they want to finance their diamond, and because retailers want you to finance. They just make more money
because of the interest,
right? The interest, the market. Here's another one: is this bullshit about some sort of trade in later to trade up?
Ooh, that's the one that gets me,
right?
It's just little do they know their jeweler's just going to charge them a fuck ton more on the next stone.
It's called keystoning. They at least double the price. Like I said to this young man, our price is broker any diamond anywhere. We make 12% on a mine diamond, and we get to deal with the mines. We don't have the middlemen in place. So anyway, I am on a bit of a rant this morning, eh?
You're tearing up. Are you okay?
Emotionally?
Yeah.
No. Have I ever been?
I'm
not tearing up, am I?
Yeah, you are.
I don't think so.
Okay, do you want me to pull out a mirror?
Well, can't we use the one you used to watch the...
No.
Anyway, so there we go, guys. I mean, these are the questions, and the questions provide the answers for you to what's going on. Mm-hmm. The growth of the laboratory-created industry is something that is so massive, so compelling.
It's not going away.
It's not only not going away.
It's taken over.
We can go back to question number 1, where will it continue to grow? The answer is clearly yes. You've got poison. By the way, if I die on the air, I want Judy blamed. Okay, if anything happens to me,
I'm blind. I don't see anything.
Right, but Pandora, who is the biggest jeweler in the world, think about that, are experiencing record numbers. Now, this is a company that made the commitment to only do laboratory grown, and their reason was ethical. Ethical and environmental reasons. They said, screw this. It's interesting, what we figure out on this show. They said, screw this. And now they're experiencing record numbers. What does that tell us?
Well, it tells us that they're...
Screw this! Oh, sorry.
It tells us that their age demographic is settling for... Not settling. I shouldn't use that word. They are making decisions based on their wallets. And for economical and ethical and environmental reasons, lab grown is the way to go.
Clearly. It becomes clearer. And like the diamonds are. They're clearer.
Oh, true.
Right? Like, that's a pun. Do you like
I
that
got it. Okay. You don't need to explain every joke to me.
Yeah, apparently, though, you don't really. You get them after I go, you get it? Okay, that's not getting it, okay? That's you getting it. Clear? Get it? Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I got it. You don't need to explain every joke to me.
Anyways, so Pandora.
Can we have your boyfriend on the podcast?
No, he doesn't do.
Right?
He doesn't do that.
But he can stay home.
No, he doesn't do that.
And that's my segue to. We're going to be having guests now on our podcast. Our podcast has taken quantum leaps forward.
I think it was also our title last week. Something sloppy seconds.
This week we're going to go with Pornhub.
Oh my.
Okay. We're gonna go cheap for views, okay?
Oh my god.
It's Pornhub's educational. Are you kidding? Anyway, you guys, we're off to Vegas in a couple of weeks. Obviously, we're pretty punchy today. But, the other thing that excites me is when I tell people stuff, I'm right. Like, I'm not here wasting people's time. I'm not here trying to create profits for our company, although, we're also extremely busy and we're grateful to our clients everywhere. We're brokers. The trend in the industry now is, why would you pay retail? Why in God's name would anybody pay retail for a diamond anymore? And this is the next evolution of this thing. Boy, I'm going to be in trouble in Vegas.
I'm scared.
It's a good thing that I'm 6'3", 261 and 11% body fat.
I'm going to pretend like I don't know you when we're in Vegas.
Yeah, right. I'm sure we'll be highly recognizable.
Kidding.
Anyway, you guys.
Stay tuned for next week's episode.
Don't dare consider a mine diamond, especially today, as a financial investment. It's not.
You know what? Just a quick side note. I was reading our comments on our Instagram
Hang on, you
post.
were reading?
I was going to say rereading, but I read it for the first time and some lady was like, oh, I was listening to your podcast and all you guys talk about is how mine diamonds don't hold any financial value. Well, what about lab-grown diamonds? And I'm like, we talk about the fact that neither, whether a diamond comes out of a mine or out of a lab, is a financial investment. So just wanted to clear the air.
It's so interesting, though, that people listen to our podcast and bitch at us. Well, you. Where did you run into this person?
Into this person?
You said someone was commenting.
It was a previous video of ours. I think it was like from 3 weeks ago. But yes, there is no financial investment on a diamond wherever it comes from.
It's strictly emotional.
It's emotional.
The emotion is love.
The return is beauty.
Now I am tearing up. It's so beautiful.
Okay.
Anyway, you guys, we're going to be in Vegas for episode 100, serendipitously. And
you planned this out this whole time,
yeah,
didn't you?
Yeah, right. 100 episodes, I went, if I go to Vegas in year 2 and GIA, Judy and I said, will we be the 100th episode? Well, we are.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week.